Hey, Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Look what I ran into. Zosel up here at Bushnell. He's a head men's basketball coach, Southern Oregon. Pretty good game here, 37-35 at halftime. But Corbin looks pretty good. They're defending pretty well. What are your? I know they've talked a lot, but what are your thoughts?
Well, right now it feels like everybody in the league looks good. Like,
That's true, isn't it?
Just everybody I've watched just looks really good. I thought Bushnell was very impressive last night with their grit and their togetherness. And Corbin coming off of a tough loss last night to get up and tip off at 12 and play against a really good Hope team as inspired as they're playing. You know, it's pretty impressive.
I think Corbin has looked, like you said, really good here in the first half. They had about an 8-point lead, and then Hope hit 2 threes right in the last, minute and 10 seconds. But it's a pretty competitive game. You know, I want to ask you about you're all done with your non-con now. Talk about the psyche of your team coming out of the Lithia Classic. You beat Linfield, which you had that heartbreak that the whole country talked about against ACU.
Yeah.
You know, you go back home, talk about where the team's head is right now.
Our group's an interesting group. I mean, we have a lot of young guys, and we have a lot of guys that are older that maybe were coming off the bench last year. And so we really came into this year with no expectations, which has been great because we struggled to put it together the first couple weeks and kind of got lucky in a couple wins. And we really didn't know what to expect with Arizona Christian. We didn't know if we were ready, and I don't think we got their best shot necessarily, but it was really, I think our guys were mostly encouraged.
Yeah, I agree.
We didn't, we showed some grit and toughness, and but yeah, it was a tough one to come back from, but a lot of lessons, a lot of lessons you want to learn in the preseason and not that first weekend in LeGrand and Caldwell, so hopefully we grow from it.
From a fan standpoint, though, I was impressed with your team. I mean, even though you fell at the end, but there was many times in that Arizona Christian game where they could have just folded.
Yeah, we were gritty. I mean, they got out 14, I think, in the first half, and we just kind of chipped away, and then we lost. We melted down at the end, and then we came out and got a lead in overtime after they jumped on us. So we definitely weren't going away. We were pesky for sure.
So your non-conference is over. You just mentioned Eastern, and I think you opened with College of Idaho and then Eastern. Is that it?
Yeah.
So tell people that road trip is awful. It's terrible.
It's brutal. I don't know exactly, but I think it's been like 11 years since we've beaten Eastern on the road.
Oh, really?
In conference. I think we have a conference tournament win over them, maybe. Not my time. I've never won there, but it's a tough trip. I mean, the travel's tough, and they're both well-coached, tough teams that play well at home. It's a lot like the Tech Southern trip. I'm sure people say the same thing on the other end of that trip. You're slogging over the pass in the snow after
does it snow?
Tough games. Yeah.
The Eastern, always it seems like College of Idaho is a little bit better than Eastern, but Eastern is just as tough to play at. I mean, those students are active, and they jam them in that place, and it's enthusiastic atmosphere in there, isn't it?
And I love the job that Chris does there, Chris Kemp. I mean, he just does a great job of mixing Eastern Oregon kids, Tacoma, Seattle kids. They're just always together, and they always seem to love playing for him. And I just ton of respect for the job he does, and I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah. What do you think generally of the league? It seems like everybody, like you said earlier, everybody looks tough.
It's tough. Multnomah looks really good, really tough and gritty and together.
Warner's a lot better.
Warner Pack is a lot of guys back, and I felt like they lost a lot of close ones last year and had talent, just kind of snowballed on them. And I don't think that's a gimme at all. And they're going to beat some people.
It'll be a lot tougher
for
trip.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you guys, Eastern, we just talked about. Corbin, we're watching. This is going to be a brutal trip into the valley. Yeah. Corbin and Bushnell.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun though. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah,
right?
Real contrasting styles. Bushnell's so good, spreading you out, shooting the basketball, and Corbin's just punch you in the mouth.
Yeah.
55 to 58.
feet. Yeah,
we're gonna win. We're gonna win ugly. So.
Well, Matt, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes. We're going to watch the rest of this game. Thanks a lot. Matt Zosel, Southern Oregon basketball. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.